Алексей Анатольевич, здравствуйте еще раз. Вы нас хорошо видите, слышите?
Доброе утро, Ваша честь. Хорошо вижу, хорошо. Абсолютно выдуманное, искусственное, несуществующее. Но тем не менее.
Не устанавливаются ограничения по количеству книг и возможности брать с собой религиозную литературу и в ранее. Про согласование Генеральной прокуратуры Российской Федерации утверждены правила внутреннего распорядка избирательных учреждений.
Life and death, high isolation, political prisoners in Russia, organized by permanent missions of Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and Poland. At the beginning,
We cannot stop thinking who is next after Navalny. And we together issued on 16th of February a statement calling on the Russian.
Okay.
1 second. It's more than 1,000. Their liberty. Russian politically motivated grounds. Now, even the fact that he spent in the past several years 300 days in solitary confinement in punishment cells is already, I have called on many occasions that his conditions of detention amounted to torture and ill treatment. So he was tortured, essentially. It was a slow death over these several years. There is a possibility that he was also killed in the last few days, but we can only know through an independent investigation. The authorities did the opposite. They didn't even want to give the body to the family or to initiate any meaningful investigation. So the Russian government is responsible one way or another for his death. Ever since the death of Alexei Navalny, there is no day passing without asking myself, who is the next Navalny? Who among all these 1,000 political prisoners and many more that the Russian authorities are detaining every day for laying flowers in memory of Navalny, for attending the funeral, and for opposing the war in Ukraine? Who is the next Navalny? And there will be next Navalnys for sure, with this level of repression.
В противном случае вы будете задержаны и доставлены в территориальные органы внутренних дел. Уважаемые граждане, в данном месте
Oh yes, I'm very worried. I mean, to begin with, Vladimir Kara-Murza, who has diagnosis of polyneuropathy, and even under Russian law, he shouldn't be spending time in detention. He is also, similarly to Navalny, placed in punishment cells in solitary confinement for prolonged periods of time. He should be immediately released. I mean, he was one of the main lobbyists and authors of the Magnitsky Law, and he was detained and sentenced to 25 years imprisonment because he voiced in open newspaper articles and speeches, he voiced his opposition to the war against Ukraine. I think first and foremost to meet the Russian authorities at every opportunity they have and demand the full unconditional release of all political prisoners, as well as independent investigation for Navalny's death. I mean, this needs to be a mantra, and this needs to be put as a condition to the Russian Federation by all governments, fellows, members of the United Nations. Where you ended in your introduction, and just say that for me,
shed light on the tragic situation of political prisoners in Russia currently impacted by the upcoming elections scheduled for 15-17 March. I also hope that the side
in particular the plight of political prisoners in the Russian Federation today.
the death of Alexei Navalny send shockwaves around. We cannot have a government which is as important as the Russian, member of the Security Council, one of the 5 permanent members, and allowing them to have this level of repression. I think engagement is necessary and demanding for Russia to fulfill its obligations towards its own people. And of course, this is all done in connection to the war against the Ukrainian people. As I said, the war against Ukraine is also a war that the Russian government is waging against its own people through such level of repression.
Хорошо видите, слышите?
Доброе утро, Ваша честь. Хорошо вижу, хорошо слышу.
Я что ли снял ваше процессуальное право. Скажите, пожалуйста, письменные возражения Минюста, Генпрокуратуры.
Где моя жена? Дайте. То, что произошло, это замечательно. Мы садились на эти 15 суток в одной стране, вышли в другой. И я абсолютно уверен, что мы добьемся своего. Эта протестная активность будет продолжаться, и мы будем выходить на улицы до тех пор, пока не будут выполнены наши законные и разумные требования.